We are Venom.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Venom vlog. And as we're winding down our final episodes here, I wanted to just say thanks again for being on this road with us the last 7 years. It's been a lot of fun talking about this character. By the time we end this show, at the end of October, we'll have had 900 Venom vlog episodes and 100 shorts for Venom vlog shorts, totaling to about 1,000 episodes technically. So I always wanted to get there to 1,000. I was like, oh wait, we put out a bunch of shorts, and I count those as episodes over on Seek at Night and stuff. So I figured let's just combine them all. We'll hit 1,000. I'll find a way to make it happen. So we'll have a lot of single packs that we're going to be opening for these over there, just to see if we get any Infinity Stones or anything like that. But for now on this, for the last episode of this format, we're going to open the bundle because it has Venom fighting Spider-Man on it in that really cool iconic artwork by a Magic the Gathering artist who just killed this piece, in my opinion. And this is one of the first promo pieces I saw back in March for this set. And when I saw that it was going to be on a bundle, I was like, we got to get one of those. So luckily today at that Magic event at Disney Springs, I was able to find one of these. They didn't sell out by the time we got there in line. And I was like, I'm just going to buy it. Even though I have another one coming online from when we pre-ordered and I couldn't cancel it, doesn't matter. I wanted this now so I can go ahead and film all this stuff now and get it ready to start, uploading so we could catch up in time for October. So I don't know when exactly this is up. I don't know if it'll be October or not, if we caught up by then, but I'll do my best. My goal is to finish the show though by the end of October. So, but hopefully you're seeing it either right at the beginning of October or right at the end of September. If I made time to get all the edits done and everything. So, all right, let's go ahead and open this up. Boom. Inside, you get a bunch of cool stuff. These bundles, we opened them before. Oh, that's a bummer, man. Wow, that's such a bummer. Hopefully our next one, this is not damaged. This is not a collectible piece by any means, but normally it's slid right in to the top. But man, that was mangled in there. That was just like shoved in. That's rough, man. Well, because I wanted to frame this. I knew this was going to be inside, and I was like, I need to frame this or something. But we're not going to frame this one. I'll try to keep it nearby. Sorry, little guy. You got messed up big time, though. But you got a little comic piece on this side, a two-panel comic thing with J. Jonah Jameson and Spider-Man. And then you have this Venom piece on the other side. So, man, I really hope our next one is not smashed to bits like that. That's a shame. But what's cool about these, though, Blue had these for the Brothers War, and we opened those, a while back. And I can't remember what channel those ended up on, if they're this channel or our gaming channel, which is also ending, with this channel. So, if anyone's like, oh, he's still going to make content, sadly, we won't be. I think Blue might be doing toy photography over on his Instagram, but that's about it. But you get this cool box, look at that. And you get Venom on one side. Awesome. And you get Spidey on the other. And so bundles are always good to get for me, I think, because you get a case to put all your stuff in. So, that way you can keep it all in one place. I don't know if we'll have enough cards to, to fill this up. Maybe we will by the time we're done, because we have a box coming in, and there's going to be a lot of cards in that box. But we have tokens here. You got Spider-Man. This is a card divider, so you can put it in here and separate your decks if you want. And then also more stuff to punch out over here. Oh, you got one with Venom like that. Or that's like Miles, really. And then Spidey. And then you got Venom here, another card divider, and more tokens. So pretty cool. You always get one of those, or typically do, in a bundle. You get a pack of lands. So those are all here. You also get 9 booster packs. You get another thing. This has, I think, an exclusive card in there. Not exclusive, but just a card that is, going to be in all these bundles is going to be in here. So kind of tethered to these boxes. And then you get the die, which is really neat. They always make cool die. The Transformer one that, Blue got, I think he had a couple of them. They're really cool looking. But you get the 20th spot is the Spider-Man logo right there. So, yeah, it goes up to 20. Really, really neat. Cool little piece to have. And again, something to store all your stuff in. So, it's built in. So that way it's because price wise, these are $7 a piece. They should be. I don't know. These might, people might sell them for more. But so that right there is almost, and then getting these in there is almost the value of the box itself. at the like $70 price point. And then you get, you know, the box and the die and all that too, and the, you know, sheet with the art on it, but ours got damaged. But let me just show this stuff off real quick. These are the lands. We'll try to go through these as quick as I can here. So we got the plains. If you haven't seen them in our previous video, we got plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest. Those are the 5 lands. Now we get the ones where Spidey's in them. So there you got Spidey swinging there. I think that's cool. The plains. That's really neat. And then you got the island, swinging past the bridge. The swamp, swinging through an alleyway. Mountains, and he's on the side of the building there. And then you have the forest, where he's kind of swinging. I guess there's no real forest in New York City either, but he could have been swinging through Central Park maybe. But that's still, that's cool with the trees out in the neighborhood. So awesome. Those are your lands you get in here. And then this will have, like I said, I think more lands and the exclusive card, or not the exclusive, but you know what I mean. This card here, Radioactive Spider, which has the web weaver on it, which is just so cool looking. Big fan of that art there by Tony Infante, who I've seen him draw comics and other stuff over the years. I've recognized his name throughout the years, and you know, Magic cards I think too. So really, really well done. Super cool. Then so we have some plain foils in here. So we got the island, the swamp, the plains, the mountain, the forest, and then again all the same cards we just got, but in foil, so that you have some foil lands to, you know, add to your deck if you're just a fan of shiny things like I am sometimes. So here are the 9 packs. We're going to try to go through these pretty quickly because now we're getting to the point where our commons and uncommons, we've seen a good chunk of them, I think, by opening the stuff we've already done on this channel. So we're going to try to go through the first part of the pack pretty quickly. That way we can get through this pretty fast. So Spider Rex, Common Crook, again, all these we've seen already. You know, if you want to watch our previous videos, I talk a little bit more about some of these. I won't go into, you know, detail or any rambling on this one, unless it's a card we don't have from before. Rhino's Revenge, Supportive Parents. Whoa, hey, look, it's our first story card. Awesome. So we got the Clone Saga, a storyline that, it was funny, I was talking to my friend Nate today about this, you know, event, if you want to call it that, at when we were in line and stuff. We were, because this kid in line, like we saw a lot of people with Spidey shirts. I'm wearing a Spidey shirt. Actually, this one's exclusive for Disney Springs. They had it, it's like an artist edition of Miles, and they had it like a couple years ago. And I was like, you know, it's normally not my kind of shirt. It's kind of loud. But I was like, so I'm going to get it because it's not really the kind of shirt I would normally wear. I mean, it's great artwork on it. I like wearing shirts like that, but the way it fits and stuff, it's not normally my type of thing. But I was like, I love the art too much. So I was wearing this, but we saw a kid wearing a Clone Saga shirt that had Spider-Man fighting Ben Reilly on it. And it got me and Nate talking about the Clone Saga. And we were talking about how genius of a story that was until they got cold feet and pulled away from their original plan, which was to replace Peter Parker. You know, and it's so funny because Joe Quesada and those guys didn't seem to hesitate at all when they erased all that continuity, you know, with Brand New Day and One More Day and stuff like that. But in the 90s, they had a chance to say, hey, the Peter Parker you've been reading ever since the marriage, that's not, you know, that's a clone. And it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means it didn't happen to the real Spider-Man, and Ben is going to be the real Spider-Man. And that was the original plan, and they got cold feet. They thought people were going to, you know, crucify them. So they didn't go with it. But I that would have been a killer move, I feel like. But again, it seemed like a killer move because, you know, I wasn't like there in it when it was happening. But in retrospect, it seems like it would have been cool. But it probably would have got them a lot of hate, that's for sure. Like One More Day did. So we got Clone Saga. That's cool. I'm glad we got a story card there. Oh, whoa, look at that. We got both versions or 2 versions. I don't know if there's only 2, but that's cool. So this one is, they print these as comic book panels. So it's the same thing, same information, just in comic form. Wow, that's cool that we got them back to back because we haven't got any story cards at all so far. So to get the Clone Saga and a clone of it, not an exact clone, like much like Ben and Peter, but like, or Kane maybe, but that's killer, man. That's really cool. And Logan Lubera did the art on this one. Bill Sienkiewicz did the art on that one. How sick. Bill Sienkiewicz on a Clone Saga piece. I'm a fan of that. I'm going to put those aside. That's cool. We got Steel Wrecking Ball in foil, Ominous Asylum, and Treasure. All right, so yeah, I went on a little tangent there on the Clone Saga, but I had to. That's the first time I've seen that, and we got a duplicate of it right away. How amazing is that? Okay, so next pack, pack 2, Shock. Spider-Man Brooklyn. We got Visionary. We got this Inner Demons. This we haven't seen yet, I don't think, but that's cool. That's Mr. Negative's group, like his henchmen and stuff. So that's cool. The Inner Demons. Daily Bugle, Mask Meower, Mechanical Mobster, Spider Slayer. That's cool to get Silvermane and the Spider Slayer right there. Spider Bite, Aunt May. Hey, there's Randy's. We still got to find Moreland. That's Randy's other card. Ooh, Silk Guard. That's cool, and it's a full piece. Look at that. It's the Dave Johnson cover from the comics. That's really cool. We got to full these full piece, cards, the borderless, and the art goes all the way out. We got a few of them in the previous stuff that we opened, including a cool Hobgoblin one. But yeah, that's neat. Silk Guard. I'm going to put that to the side too. Ooh, Black Cat. What's up, Felicia? That is cool. Another new card for us so far. Cunning Thief. When Black Cat enters, look at the top 9 cards at target opponent's library, exile 2 of them face down, and put the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order. Oh, that's awesome. Just take from them. That's cool. That's such a Black Cat move there. Whoa. Hey, whoa. We got this. This is the basic version of the Soul Stone, but that's still cool. Wow. Yeah, that's a legendary artifact. I'll have to get some sleeves and top load this stuff, but I'm going to set this aside. So this is one of the cards that I feel that people online are freaking out about. Not so much this version. I think this is a cool version, though, the way they had that set up with holding the Soul Stone. But apparently there's a version that is in foil that has Thanos holding the gauntlet with the Soul Stone on it, and that one's one that people are seeking after a lot. But wow, that's cool that we got a Soul Stone in this bundle. I actually wasn't expecting that. I didn't know that card was available to get in a bundle, but I guess it is in a booster pack, so that does make sense. Wow, that's a good hit there. I'm so happy. I'm tucking it to the side. We'll look at it again at the end. We got the Spider-Mobile, the Spider Buggy, really awesome, in foil. We got a Mountain and Treasure. That's cool, though. I wonder if that one is selling for a good amount, because we will, we're not at the point yet where I'm thinking about selling any of these cards, but I'll keep it aside in the binder in case someone is really trying to get one. I know what it's like to really want a card and to want to buy a bunch of stuff to get it. Blue does too. So I have empathy there. So if someone out there is like, dude, I bought a bunch of stuff, I haven't seen one Soul Stone. I feel like if we got one, most people probably will too, if they buy, if they at least spend $175 like we did today. But still, I think I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. If that one is, we'll keep it aside just in case somebody is really actively wants one, because that's a good thing to play the game with. We're not here to play the game, for the most part. We're just here to collect the cool art and stuff. Stegron, Kapow, Pack 3, here we go. Venom Unleashed, Web Up. Oh, that's cool. That's a new card. Mysterious Phantasm, that's also new for us. That's really neat. I like the art on that one. Mask Meower, Gallant Citizen. That's John Jameson. We talked about him before. Spider Bite. This is the 4th or 5th Spider Bite card we've gotten. We got Alien Symbiosis. Ooh, the Spots Portal. Awesome. I love the artwork there by Carlos Bertoli. Really neat. Spider Woman. Hey, that's cool. That's a great one. Stunning Savior. That's a great card. I like that. The old Parker Luck. I know what that's like, man. I feel it sometimes. I love that there's Venoms behind him, though, in the artwork. Thanks for including Venom. The artist who drew this, you got Harry Osborn there dying, too. Thank you for including Venom in that. That's cool. Ooh, a foil Craven. Awesome. We did get a regular one of these. Greg Staples. That's great artwork. In one of the previous ones, but that's cool that we got the foil. And we got the Forest and the Treasure for the token. Awesome. We got pack 4 here, right? No, pack 5. 2, 3. No, pack 4. Yeah, all right. Sorry. I can't really count. I don't know if you guys know that about me. I actually don't know how to count. So all these years I've been faking it. Unstable Experiment, Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Staples of New York. I know they don't make interesting magic cards, but they are what they are. Merciless Enforcers, Spider-Man Web Slinger, Whoosh, Lurking Lizards. Hey, the hot dog cart. Can't wait to throw this at somebody. That's pretty good. There's a guy taking a selfie there with Spidey. Yeah, awesome. Hot dog cart. Cool. Scorpion. I think we got him before. Dude, okay, so this Chameleon I don't think we got. So that's cool. Master Disguise. I'm a big fan of Chameleon. I like this character a lot. He's a great villain, and there's really interesting things you can do with him, like Nick Spencer showed during his run. And when it comes to like the manipulation of Gwen and Norman and all that stuff. So yeah, Chameleon had a role in that, which was interesting. Molten Man, that's cool. So this is another character I didn't know was in the set actually. So it's cool to see. Like I didn't look at every card or anything like that. I'm catching up, but that's neat to see that. Hide on the Ceiling, classic Spidey move right there. Somebody comes in the room, you got to jump up on the ceiling and avoid detection. Especially when Aunt May is coming in, to check on you, and she's like, I thought I heard him, come home or whatever. But yeah, good move. Good move, Spidey. It's you gotta stay hidden in that costume. Spider Islanders, Suburban Sanctuary, and a robot. Cool. Pack 5. These open a lot easier than the the Gwen packs, the collector's packs. That was a little bit of a hassle. This one, and you can see me struggle. I don't know if I'll probably cut the footage out, but I struggled a little bit in my short episode that I filmed right before this. So Stegron the Dinosaur Man, Kapow, Swarm, Starling, Doc Ock's Henchman, Oscorp Research Team. Again, in case you've seen the other episodes, I don't want to go into the repeat stories and ramble about these. So check those episodes out. If I skip through the card, it's probably because we talked about them already. Spider UK. Great shot of him. I like that. Shriek. So we got these before. Another Spider here, piloted by Penny. Like, that's like our third one or fourth one. I think we got it in foil, too. So, yeah, she seems to be pretty easy to get. Hey, look at this. Peter Parker's camera. Classic camera, too, with the wind-up and the film. And that's awesome. That's great artwork there for a card that probably is boring to a lot of people, but a lot of Peter Parker's life is, through this camera. He had to save up for it too, so he could get the job with J. Jonah Jameson. So first he had to, get the camera and afford it, which they couldn't, him and Aunt May. So it's neat. I think there was one version where like it was Uncle Ben's camera that he started the job with until he could make money or something. So there's been different versions, I think, but that's cool though. Peter Parker's camera, or it was his dad's camera, and Uncle Ben held onto it. Something like that. Inner Demons, University Campus, and Treasure. Cool. All right, pack number 6. I mean, that's crazy that we got a Soul Stone in this box. I don't know why, but that wasn't even in my head as something you could find in here. But it makes sense. I guess that version with the hands are in the play boosters. So I just don't know how rare that version is. I think the other one's more rare because of the price to buy a collector's box. I think that's what makes that one more rare, I think. But who knows? Maybe the odds are harder to get that one than this one. Let me know down below. I'll try to research it after I film this, but in case I don't, or forget, just please let me know in the comments. Angry Rabble, Craven's Cats, Swarm Again, Thwip, Amazing Acrobatics, Venomized Cat. That's a new one. Ooh, I like that. Death Touch. When this creature enters, mill 2 cards. Put the 2 cards in your library into your graveyard. Oh, the top 2 cards. Oh. New York City's rat problem disappeared overnight. Oh, yeah, it's sitting there eating. Oh, my God. That's crazy. Oh, all right. Venomized Cat. Sweet. Skyward Spider. Ooh, a news helicopter. How exciting. Flash Thompson Spider Fan. Awesome. Vulture. Prison Break. Shadow of the Goblin. That's cool because that's Harry. We talked about this in the previous one. This is after Norman, quote unquote, died, and Harry found his lab and stuff. So that's pretty neat. It's like a passing of the evil torch for Harry there. And just because they knew I love this helicopter card so much, they gave me 2 in this pack so I could have the foil one too. So that was very nice of you. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for packaging it that way. That makes my day. Thank you. All right, pack number 7. Boom. Man, this is what, our 5th Stegron? This guy is everywhere. And that's the thing. That's why when we do the shorts, we're going to cut all this stuff out, all these commons and stuff, and maybe even the uncommons. We're going to cut them all out and just get to the final cards from each pack. So there, Spectacular Tactics, Secret of Day. We talked about this one. This was a card called Unmasked, and this artwork is an homage to it. So I just think that's cool that they homage this card. It's a previous Magic the Gathering card. Shocker as the legendary creature. Cool. Supportive Parents. Dude, another... So I found out, I'm glad we got this card. I did a little bit of research in between filming the previous videos and this one, so I can now correct myself. This is a very common Spectacular Spider-Man to find, is him in the regular costume. The other ones, like the variants where he's in like the neon costume, you know, from the Big Time era and stuff, and like a Future Foundation costume or 2099 or have the 6 arms, those are the rare ones. So those are the harder ones to find and the ones that are worth, you know, a lot more money, or at least that they're selling for a lot more money. So I'm glad I have a chance to correct myself. You probably already left me comments going, you idiot, you don't know what you're, you know, and that's fine. I deserve it. I didn't know, but now I do. So while I'm filming this last episode and we pulled one, so that gives us an extra one. So, you know, we could trade with somebody or pass it on to somebody who might not get, maybe they get luckier and they get a variant of this that's worth more and they want the basic one. Well, we have an extra one to trade you if you need it. So awesome. So pack number 8 here, almost to the end. And these bundles, I think they average around like $70. I think that's what we paid today, was $70 for it. But people are trying to sell those for more. Keep an eye out. You know, if you see something that, if it's less than 100, maybe you still want to buy it so you get all the cool stuff that comes with it. But you know, just be careful and be smart out there. I try not to, I don't like to support the secondary market too much unless it's something I absolutely can't find and I have no choice. But hopefully Wizards makes enough of these bundles that you can at least get one of these bundles at your local Target or Walmart or somewhere, or online somewhere for close to retail price. Steel Wrecking Ball, Grow Extra Arms, Risky Research, Thwip, Amazing Acrobatics, The Bagel and Schmear. Okay, Mob Lookout. Oh, that's a new card. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, we don't have one of those. Mass Meower, Spider-Man Heroic. Oh, Spiders Man. Oh, this is that creepy. So for those who don't know, there was a one of the Edge of Spider-Verse books or one of those. They introduced a guy named Spiders Man, and he was like actually made up of spiders and could talk to spiders, and he was kind of creepy. So that's, but I think he still had a good. I mean, he's Spider-Man, so I think he still had a good side. But there was just like a horror element to him, kind of like The Fly or something, you know. But that's neat. So that's him. He got his own card in this series. That's awesome. Raging Goblinoids. I didn't know that's what they were called, the Goblinoids. But that, okay, so that's what they are. And they're raging. So, you know, careful out there. If you see these guys on the streets, you know, not a good time. Just stay in, just lock your door. You'll probably be fine because they're fictional. Sun Spider, we've had him before. Symbiote Spider-Man, we got this one as well, but it's never hurts to look at him again and check out that Paulo Rivera artwork. Sick. Damage Control and Foil. Sinister Hideout, and a treasure token. All right, last pack. I don't need magic on this one because we landed an Infinity Stone, so I think we're fine. I think that we got all the magic we need. Now we'll just hopefully find a Venom card. I would just love a nice Venom card. Spider-Gwen, Free Spirit. Guy in the Chair. What, you know what? Ask and you shall receive. Even though I have this one and in foil, I asked for a Venom card. I didn't specify. That's what I get. Starling. Doc Ock, Steel Wrecking Ball, Spider Manifestation. That's cool looking. Some spiders feed on other spiders. That is creepy. I like that though. I like the artwork a lot. Sweet. Spider-Man No More. We did get that before. Living Brain. Dude, no! There is a different so we got a Prowler, and I think it says Clawed Thief, but it's the Miles Uncle version of Prowler. And I was like, man, I hope the Hobie Brown version is in here. I know a lot of people are like, wait, Hobie Brown, that's, you know, Spider-Punk or whatever. Yes, in an alternate universe, Hobie Brown became Spider-Punk. But in the original timeline, the 616 or whatever you want to call it, Hobie Brown was the Prowler, and he's a favorite of mine. Now he's the Hornet. He designed this costume for Spider-Man once when Spider-Man had to lay low for a while as Spider-Man. So he became some new heroes called the Slingers. They later have been called the Slingers. And Hobie Brown, I'm going to talk about this. So sorry, guys, because this is one of my favorite. I love the Slingers. I want to write a Slingers comic book. That's like my dream at Marvel, is to write a Slingers comic book. I would love to do that, at some point if I could, but time is ticking, so probably not. But what they did was they brought Hobie Brown, designed the Hornet costume, passed it to Peter. Then Peter didn't need it anymore after he proved his innocence as Spider-Man, that Spider-Man wasn't a murderer. So those 4 costumes, the one made by Hobie was the Hornet one, but they ended up being passed on to these teenagers who became the Slingers wearing those costumes. But the original Hornet, his name was Eddie, I believe. He died in Enemy of the State, the Wolverine storyline. He got killed off panel, which was crappy of Mark Millar to do that. But what ended up happening is that current writers, since Hobie Brown can't be Prowler anymore because that's Miles' uncle, and the worlds merged, he decided to become the new Hornet and lead the new Slingers. So I need more stories with the Slingers and Hobie Brown as Hornet, please. If you guys, let me write it if you're not going to do it. Spider-Man India, that's great. Another new card. So that's a good land right at the end here. We got Prowler and Spider-Man India. Doc Ock's Tentacles, Masked Meower in the foil, Island, and Robot. So cool. I went through this a little bit faster than I thought I was. I'm glad I did, though. We're getting to that point where we're seeing a bunch of duplicates and all that. So I'm glad. So for me, we got Black Cat, we got Prowler, we got Spider-Man India, we got the 2 Clone Sagas, that Silk card here. But I love that out of all the stories, we got the one with the clones. For those who don't know, Blue, my alter, or not my alter, but a fellow alter, since I am also an alter, he got his name Ben from Ben Reilly. They were doing the Spider-Man Beyond stuff at the time, and I had picked up some comics, and there was a mantle passing of Peter. He was sick, and he said, "All right, Ben, you can be Spider-Man for a while," and Ben took up the mantle. And funny enough, that's where we are now in our lives with what's going on health-wise. So so it's neat that we got the Clone Saga, and we got kind of both versions of them back to back. Is pretty awesome. And then to land this Soul Stone is great. And I'll save all my health stuff. You can follow my Instagram if you want to hear that stuff. But I'll try to keep it, to a minimum here as we're just having fun opening cards. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know if we'll try to find that another home or if we'll keep it. I don't really need it for our set because I'm trying to just get Spider-Man stuff and Venom stuff to put in a binder. I know this is part of the card series, but this is something that people actually want to play with, and I don't want to just hold on to it while someone out there who wants one, doesn't. They want to play and have one in their deck. So I'll think about it. I'll talk to Blue and Ben, and we'll figure something out. But for now, that's amazing that we got this, that it was possible to do that. And then we got our lands and exclusive card over here, and then we got our die and our box here. A lot of cool stuff for the price point that we had here for like the $70. And like I said, we did pre-order one more of these, so another one's going to come in. I don't think I'm going to film us opening it. I think I'm just going to open the regular box. I think the other one of these that comes in, I'm going to let Blue open because he has a lot better luck than I do, and hopefully he can find us that cool Venom card that is part of this series. So thank you so much for watching the show. As always, I really appreciate it. Let me know down below what you think. And this is it for Magic. As far as main episodes go, we got some comic books we're going to talk about next and try to wrap those up and get those stories discussed so that we don't leave really anything behind. And then also we have another Ben Reilly episode I'm going to do. I'm going to talk with our friend Randy, and we're going to have him on one more time before the show ends. So we got the next stuff planned. I'm working on it, and you'll see it soon. In the meantime, enjoy the shorts that we're going to start pumping out very soon as well. Thanks so much. See you in the future. Peace.